This is a Scratch program which makes use of lists and procedures. This is the program in question. It starts with the command when green flag clicked, and it ends with the command say join join. Let's see what happens when we run the program. Hello? Please answer the questions. What is the capital of Spain? Madrid. Press enter. Correct, well done. Who is the President of the United States? Obama. Press enter. Well done. And what is the largest ocean in the world? Atlantic. Sorry, the answer is Pacific. So my score is 2 out of 3. I got 2 right out of 3. So what's happening here? This program makes use of lists. Let us show the lists involved. So if I press here, questions. This is a list called questions. The list of questions has 3 items in it. Item number 1 is what is the capital of Spain? Item number 2 is who is the President of the United States? And item number 3 is what is the largest ocean in the world? We say that this list called questions has a length of 3. So we say that the list of questions has a length of 3 because there are 3 items in the list. Let's have a look at the list of answers. This list is called answers and it has 3 items in it. The first item is Madrid, the second item is Obama, the third item is Pacific. So this list has 3 items. This list has 3 items and we say that it is of length 3 because it has 3 items. And if you notice here, these questions, they correspond to the answers. So here, item number 1 is what is the capital of Spain? Item number 1 is the answer to that, which is Madrid. Item number 2 is who is the President of the United States? Item number 2 in answers is Obama, which corresponds to who is the President of the United States. Item number 3 is what is the largest ocean in the world, and the answer is in item number 3 of the answers, which is Pacific. So this program here draws on the contents of the list of questions and the list of answers. Now, what we can do is, if we want to clear the contents of the list of questions, I will click on this, what is called a procedure. Define, delete general questions. We can see it says delete all of the questions. And this is a procedure. So it's a block of code basically. And you see the questions have been deleted. Now if I want to delete the contents of these answers, there is a procedure called delete general answers. And here the instruction is to delete all of the answers. Let me click. If I want to recreate the list of questions, there is a procedure called adding general questions. See, there are 3 statements here which will add the items to the list of questions. And if I want to recreate the list of answers, the corresponding procedure is adding general answers. You can see 3 statements here, and if I click here, we can see that the list of answers is populated. Now there are various things that we can do with a list. We can modify a list. We can add to a list. Let's look what happens when we modify the list. When you modify the list, there are really 4 steps involved. We make modification to the list. So what we're going to be doing is modifying both the lists, the questions and answers. Then the second step is we delete the contents of both of the existing lists. And you'll see why we do that later in a bit. Thirdly, the third step is recreate both the lists with the modifications. And the fourth step, we test the program again with the modified lists to see that the program is still running correctly. So what we do is that step 1, we modify both the lists. Step 2, we delete the contents of both the existing lists. Step 3, we recreate both lists with the modifications. Step 4, we test the program with the modified lists to see that the program is running correctly. Okay, so let's go back. So let's modify. Let's modify item number 1. Item number 1 of questions reads, what is the capital of Spain? And we would change that or modify it to what is the capital of France. And I go in here and I have modified that. Okay. Then I have to modify the answer for item number 1. Currently it reads Madrid, but we are looking at the capital of Spain, France rather. So therefore I will change that to Paris. Okay. Now here it still reads what's the capital of Spain, but we want what is the capital of France. So let me delete the contents of questions by pressing this. Here it reads item number 1 is Madrid, but we want it to read Paris. Let me delete the contents of the answers. And step 3 is recreating the contents of both lists. So let me run this procedure, add in general questions. Let me add, or rather run this procedure, add in general answers. And here we see for item number 1 we've got what is the capital of France. The other 2 items remain the same. For the answers, for item number 1 we have Paris. The other 2 items remain the same. Step 4 is let's run the program. Hello, please answer the questions. Capital of France, Paris. Enter. Well done. Obama. Enter. Well done. Largest ocean in the world, Pacific. Enter. Oh, I've got them all right. That's brilliant. Now another operation we may want to perform on a list is that we may want to add to a list. We may want to add a question and answer to the list. So what happens is step 1, we add to the list. We add to both the lists, the questions and answers. Step 2, we delete the contents of both the existing lists. Step 3, we recreate both the lists with the additions. And step 4, we test that the program with the modified lists are, we run it basically to check that the program is still running correctly. So let's see what we mean by this. Okay, we go back to our program. Now there are 3 questions or 3 items in questions. We want to add an item we want to add a fourth item. So let's add a fourth item. So what do? We're on data, we go to add thing to answers, we drag and drop here. I'm going to change this to, we want to add an item to the list of questions. So I'm going to change that answers to questions. And here I'm going to put in, what is the capital of India? Here. Let me delete the contents of questions. Let me recreate the list. Got a fourth item here saying, what is the capital of India? Now let's work on the list of answers. I go to add thing to answers. Let me drag and drop that. Let me change that word thing to New Delhi. Here. Right. We want to add that fourth item. Let me delete everything from that list. Let me recreate it. And we can see the fourth item is New Delhi. So therefore the length of this list is 4 because there are 4 items. The length of this list answers is 4 because there are 4 items. The last step and the fourth step is to test the program. So let's test it. Hello. Please answer the questions. What is the capital of France? Let's put Madrid. Sorry, the answer is Paris. Who is the President of the United States? Obama. Correct, that is good. What is the largest ocean in the world? Pacific. Well done. And what is the capital of India? New Delhi. That's very good. So I've scored 3 right out of 4. So that concludes the demonstration for now. Thank you.